I did want to put on a little gala for the South Sudanese community. So it's like a South Sudanese curated night basically. And yeah, like I'm planning it with my best friend. And we still don't know how it's gonna go, but it's something that we're looking forward to. Aside from that, my name is Awak Documentary. I live in Footscray. I'm 24 years old. I'm a Dinka South Sudanese woman, and I'm actually Twitch East Congo woman, very proud, very patriotic. I am a youth worker by day, a filmmaker by night. I write my own screenplays, and I also have been working on a lot of music videos for South Sudanese artists. So I started my own production company for South Sudanese content. I think it's a little cowardice of the media and sometimes even governments. They like to use that kind of storyline or those rhetorics to kind of fuel some kind of like anger or like fear. And it's that kind of fear mongering that kind of just divides people and polarizes people. It doesn't really bring anybody together. It's really, really irritating because it's just like, we're not political points. A lot of young South Sudanese men walk around in groups because that's their family members, that's their friends, everybody also does it. But like, they're tall, you know, they're very dark skinned, they stand out, they look different to everybody else. And you know, because the South Sudanese community keeps to themselves, people do try and pry into and try to understand, and they're like, I don't know what's going on here, so I'm just gonna make up my own ideas because this is how they're acting towards me, and not really like exploring that. If you're just, you know, on social media and watching TV and, you know, getting taught through the TV and through social media that this is what a man looks like, or this is what, you know, a black woman works and looks like, and you're getting all of that negativity and none of the positivity, it eventually will shape you in some kind of way that's not kind of progressive as well. And that's something that I feel like the South Sudanese community will have to look into and kind of find a solution for themselves on it, because it's not like Channel 7 is just like, oh no, let's not run the story because we don't know how this is going to affect the kids 15 years from now or 2 years from now. And so a lot of the onus will fall down on the South Sudanese community, which is a burden. Like, we don't have to deal with this, but then at the end of the day, we have to. We're here at Boxhill Institute. I do like to do some of my work here because on the weekends it's very quiet. And I get to just be here, nobody around, just smash out my work. So there's the podcast that I'm working on, so I need to do some editing for that, as well as making sure that I'm actually ready for this music video before Strawberry Field, which is just only like under 2 months away, I think. At the same time, there's another script for another music video that I'm doing later this October too. A lot of my films and projects are dedicated to celebrating South Sudanese identity. So I explore a lot of that as well, and what the South Sudanese identity would look like within diaspora and within Australia as well. Thankfully, like the artists that I work with, the music that they have, they're so different. There's happy, there's sad, there's some political ones as well. So I get to have my opinions out there in, you know, all of these different films, but I don't actually have to say it. So that's really cool too. So this was this little bad boy that I did at the start of the year. Well, at the end of last year, and released it in February this year, which was a lot of fun to do with Hayden.
Let's take a trip back in time, summer 97, when all the drama in the city had a nigga stressing. The military planning, no shit thought you representing your motherland from the powers that was soon approaching. The smell of death in the air had been nearly choking, contemplating what could happen in an extra second. I definitely, you know, want to show my South Sudanese community what they're capable of, celebrating unity as well, because some of the tribes within South Sudan are very like scattered and polarized as well, but us young people are so close, and you know, we've discovered a culture of our own, and we just want to share that. I always thought I was going to start the production company in Amsterdam. But I guess with also being an activist and being an advocate for my Sassonese community, I knew I had a strength in film and I can use that to my advantage as well. Aside from me, there's a couple of other production companies who do their own thing, and it's great because we need to saturate the market with Sassonese voices, especially because we haven't been given the opportunity to actually talk about ourselves or to even defend ourselves. But it definitely will take more than, you know, Sassonese people getting out there into the media and everything like that. We need to be targeting people who are taking advantage of community. Channel 7 was one of them, and I think they were actually fined for using inaccurate statistics about the Sassonese community, because if it's lies, that's going to be super detrimental and it's causing harm as well. Like, we don't need that. I think that's the most important thing ever, to make sure that every news station or newspaper or online content is regulated, it's, you know, statistical, and it's not biased as well, because that kind of biased media is what Sassonese people have been dealing with, and that's what, you know, that's what irritated a lot of us young people, especially because we knew they were only showing one side of things, or 1% of things within the community, and it was irritating because it's like, why would you just concentrate on something that's so small for us, and then actually inflaming that even more, and in a way almost recruiting younger kids into that kind of style of behavior. It will take a lot more young people doing what they're doing and just inspiring other young Sassonese kids to do the exact same thing, and eventually, like, the media will be white noise to us, and that's all I can wait for, honestly. So